Hi there, my name is Amanda,
And I'm Chris Lavelle.
and we're here with the Crush Method Show and continuing our conversation about tribe.
That's right. All month we're talking about tribes. So last week we talked about how to form a tribe, or actually it was how to find a tribe, I
Finding a
think. Yeah,
tribe, why tribes are important,
absolutely. How they support you.
why you need to be both a part of a tribe, and if you're building a coaching expert consulting business, why you need to be really good at building tribes. And we talked a lot about that last week. So if you missed it, you can totally go back to it after
Absolutely.
this episode.
There you go. Well, so what are we talking about this time?
Well, this episode, we really wanted to talk about, well, how do you go about starting your own tribe?
Well, from scratch.
Right, from scratch.
Okay,
Like if you've
okay.
never built a tribe before, or you're kind of starting out and you really don't have much of a following yet,
Okay.
how do you do that in a way that's really effective?
And helpful towards your process and your journey. Because absolutely, if you're building a tribe and it's not supporting you, then that's not a tribe.
Yeah.
That's more like a JOB.
Well, maybe.
Could be. But it's, at least it's not a tribe.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you go about starting your own tribe?
Well, I think the first thing is you have to decide that you want to do it.
Fair enough. You got to have some clarity on that. And honestly, you kind of need to know why you want the tribe. Not just, hey, I want to do it, but why do you actually want the tribe? If you don't have that clarity, you're kind of going to wander around. You don't really have a map of where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do with the tribe.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And I think being clear too about the difference between building a following, say, like that kind of a tribe versus, say, like a membership where people have to pay to be a part of it, and so on and so forth. So,
And there can be elements of tribe even in a paid membership group, but that's not necessarily what we're referring to here.
yeah, so it could be a free group, it could be a paid membership, it could be just building a following on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
truly, you can build tribe pretty much in a lot of different formats. So what is the common thread? The common thread is that you're attracting a lot of people to a common interest and a common thing that they are rallying around.
Absolutely.
So the first thing is to get clear on that. Like what is it that you really kind of envision and see, and be okay with starting at the beginning.
Oh, that's important. Yeah, sounds kind of cliche, but you have to start at the beginning.
You do. And I think sometimes we stop ourselves because we're like, wah, wah, I don't have that many followers, or wah, wah, I don't have that many people on my email list.
Yeah.
And hey, I've done that.
But they
Have
also
you ever done that?
I have. But they're not going to get there unless you start. So once you get that clarity, don't overthink it too much.
Right.
Just go find people that have that common interest.
Exactly.
And then evaluate, hey, is this person that could be in my tribe? But I want them in my tribe.
Right.
It's like the old adage when you're interviewing. Do you want to work with that person? In this case, do you want to spend time with that person? That's a big rule right there.
Totally. Now, as the leader of the tribe, it's your job to really provide the structure, to provide the cadence, and to provide basically that vision for how the people are going to come together and help realize it. So one of the key activities that I sat down and did at the very beginning when I first said, you know what, I'm going to do the Crush Method Facebook group. That was the very first step towards tribe in the Crush Method.
Yep.
And when I sat down and I said, well, who is this group for? It really forced me to think about that tribe. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, gosh, I love serving coaches in particular.
Yep.
And I love serving coaches who, and this is where it got really, really
I
interesting.
remember this, yeah.
Yeah. I started to go, well, what am I absolutely for? And what am I absolutely against?
That's a key part because it's not just an affinity. It's not just what do we love. You also have to know what you don't necessarily love so that when you see something that's not consistent with the tribe you're creating, with the love side, you can call it out and say, hey, that's not what we're about. And we're not saying you call somebody out to make them feel bad or anything like that. That's not what we mean. Instead, we're talking about it from the perspective of reinforcing the values you're instilling in the tribe. So you need a very clear understanding of what is valued and what's not.
Exactly.
An example from your inner circle. Amanda has a no jerks rule. And she said very clearly early on, I want to have cool people in here that are trying to start their coaching business and they want to help and support each other, but no jerks allowed. I have a no jerks rule. I think that's a direct quote. Yeah. So that
Plain
was
language helps, I think.
Yeah, it was very clear that is the type of person that's not welcome in the group. And so it set clear expectations, and it made sure that anyone that was interested in the group, they saw very clearly this is what we're about and what we're not about. So they can make a judgment of, well, does that resonate with my values?
Yeah, exactly. And I think also wanting to create that safe place to play, because one of the things that I really identified early on, and that's exactly what we've attracted, is I wanted coaches who were really serious about the craft of building a coaching business. And they're really serious about it because they're really serious about the other people that they're impacting. And, I don't think that necessarily I'm saying, on the entry to the Facebook page, oh, go ahead and just let me know if you're actually serious about this thing.
No, I don't think it says that at all.
It's not that, but what ends up happening is the messaging and what we talk about and how we talk about it and everything else really does align to what we're totally for, and it really aligns to what we're absolutely against.
Absolutely.
So I think when you sit down to do your own tribe, it's just really important to brainstorm that out.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so you know what you're totally for, you know what you're totally against. You can start inviting people and giving them a reason to be there, I think, is another really important thing. So when I first started the Crush Method group, I was like, well, gosh, why would somebody join this group? And I think this is something people screw up all the time. Yeah.
What's that?
They just create the group and then they're like, come to my group.
Oh, and then they just kind of let it go off into the ether, and they don't necessarily nurture it.
And it's all about the owner of the group, and it's not, well, why would I go into your group?
Okay, it becomes more, hey, it's the Chris show, or hey, it's the Amanda show, instead of it's our tribal experience.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things I said is I'm like, well, gosh, I could do some free training and upload it in there. So then when I invite people into that group, I say, hey, we've got free training, we've got interviews and case studies from other successful coaches. Come check it out, right? Now they have a reason to join the tribe.
Well, and you went a step further and said, hey, share your challenges, share your feedback. What are your thoughts on this? And it wasn't, here are my thoughts as Amanda or Chris on it. It was, what are your thoughts? So what you're describing is very much nurturing those early followers, early members in the tribe, so that they really get engaged. And I think you've seen something like this. There's a famous video out there. I think it's a TED Talk.
It is. Okay, so if you have 3 more minutes after this, there's a video on YouTube, and maybe I'll put that in the show notes.
Oh, yeah.
Just a link to it. That video talks about nurturing the first follower, and it's using kind of a dance festival. It gets a little shaky, so I'll warn you, if you get motion sick, that it's not bueno. You might want to stand back from the screen a little bit. But the lesson, oh my gosh, is so good. But here's the punchline. People don't follow leaders. People follow the first followers. So as the leader, it's really important that you really nurture and take care of those very first people that follow you, because they show other people how to follow.
Yep.
And that is one of the biggest leadership lessons that I got when I was on my personal development journey. That's one of my favorite videos. I'm totally going to put that in the show notes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It gives everybody the comfort to then engage and feel involved. They see all these other people that are engaging, and that's like, oh, well, it must be safe. They seem really interesting. I would engage with them some more. And it invites other people in, because now they see other people there. They don't feel so alone. So to Amanda's point, really nurture those first followers, first tribal members, if you will. Really help them feel important and help them communicate out the values of the tribe, because they're going to be the ones to attract other appropriate members to your tribe.
So good. So we've been talking about this in the context of the Facebook group that we created for the Crush Method, but this was basically demonstrated again with the Crush Method Inner Circle, again with our Crush Method Live event. The principles work, right? So whether you're doing a free group, a paid group, or any other kind of thing where you're attracting more than another person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep these ideas in mind, and I hope that you found them super helpful. So just a quick recap. To start, you have to decide you want to and understand what it is you're building and why. Then you want to know what the tribe is totally for and what the tribe is really not for. What
the values. Think of the values.
Yep. And you want to make a point of nurturing those first followers. Don't feel bad about yourself because you only attract 2 other people to your new club. I remember the very first club I started was with my friend Shayna. We were 8 years old, and we called it the Hip Cat Club.
You've told me this story.
And we have 2 founding members. And we still have 2 members.
it's a very small tribe. So
It's a super small tribe, but you know what? Like 30 years later, we're like, yeah. We still bond over it. So anyway, just a little anecdote. I hope you really loved today's episode. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe and definitely share this. If you know of anybody who's thinking about building a coaching practice, honestly, the tribe building thing, that's a ninja move. And I want to make sure you have that information. So definitely check it out.
All right. Nice to see you guys.
We'll
All
see
best.
you again soon. Bye. Hey there. Thanks for tuning into this week's The Crush Method video blog. I'm Amanda Kaufman.
And I'm Chris Lavelle. We loved having you here.
Be sure to subscribe to receive more goodies in your inbox every week and share with others you know who are eager to learn more about building their coaching and expert business.
And don't forget to leave a comment below to share your own experiences to inspire and lift others on this journey.
And check out our podcast on iTunes called The Crush Method Show so we can join you on your commutes and workouts.